that's pitch in and help our neighbors and our friends and fellow Coloradans get through a tough time. There are thousands of Colorado families that haven't gotten a paycheck in well over a month simply because they work for the federal government or are contractors for the federal government. And until they get a paycheck, it's important that we all step up and make sure that they have the ability to put food on their table. And of course, many of these families also risk another federal shutdown in only 3 short weeks. All of them, our state's food banks have all seen an increase in business because of families that have been working and simply haven't gotten paid. I'm asking Coloradans to step up and support the state's 5 food banks, which will need the resources to feed those in need because of the continued political dysfunction in Washington. We can do this. We've faced difficult and challenging times in our state, and we've come together. We know that people who receive SNAP benefits, who rely on them to buy their groceries, are also at risk of another federal shutdown. During the shutdown, thousands of federal workers and thousands more contractors went without pay. And frankly, they need time and support to rebound, and often that includes making sure that they can feed their families. Our state's 5 food banks, we're there for them and all those in need, especially on cold days like today. And they're marching double time to need our help. Many of our food banks are dipping into their reserves because of the increased workload of staff and volunteers and costs. And during the government shutdown, many of them responded with mobile pantries and expanded hours, as they should. Our friends at Care and Share, the food bank that serves southern Colorado, have seen enormous increases in El Paso County, where federal workers without paychecks were scrambling to make ends meet. We've seen it across the Denver metropolitan area as well. These food banks need our help. And while the federal government is temporarily reopened, we have no guarantee after February 15th, nor do our contractors have any guarantee. And we need to know that our food banks will again be ready to fill the gap if and when we need them. So I'd like to ask Jared Polis, CEO of the Food Bank of the Rockies, to say a few words on behalf of Feeding Colorado, the network of 5 food banks that feeds the hungry in our state. Jared?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Governor Polis for helping to lead the way to address hunger during these uncertain times. As CEO of Food Bank of the Rockies, I'm honored today to also represent our 5 Feeding America food banks here in Colorado that collectively serve our entire state. Care and Share Food Bank for Southern Colorado, Community Food Share, Food Bank for Larimer County, Food Bank of the Rockies, and Weld Food Bank. Together, we receive and distribute enough food for more than 100 million meals annually. That helps us feed the 1 in 10 Coloradans who don't have enough food to eat, and the 1 in 6 kids in our state who may not know where their next meal is coming from. This past month, we've seen a tremendously increased need throughout the state. And as food banks, and with our nearly 1,500 community partners addressing food insecurity, we have stepped up. Through increased outreach, food distribution, and mobile pantries, we have been able to be here for those in need and those newly in need, including furloughed workers and others in need in our community. None of this work comes without a cost. That's why we are so grateful to Governor Polis today as we invite Coloradans to donate the funds to replenish our food supplies so we can continue to address food insecurity throughout Colorado.